Hello everyone, today's poem is 无题八岁偷照镜 by Li Shangyin. A woman complaining poem by Li Shangyin at his very young age, in his 14 or 15 years old. So this one is a very good comparison to the previous video, 长干行 by Li Bai. So they both belong to the type of women complaining poems. So basically, the poet pretend himself as a girl, a woman, and write something complaining to the husband, complaining to her own life, the feelings whatsoever. The title of this poem is No Title. So the no title poems is become very popular since Li Shangyin because he writes so many famous poems titled as no title. So the no title implies there's something personal in this poem, or something he don't want let others know very clearly, or it's just the characteristics of the poet Li Shangyin himself. He was always in the status of conflict between his feelings and his reality in the society in the Tang dynasty. So the following title or the subtitle, 八岁偷照镜, is the first sentence in this poem. When Li Shangyin write this poem, the title is just no title, 无题. But because he has so many famous poems titled as no title, when people talk about the poem by Li Shangyin, we like to distinguish these poems. So we put up the first sentence as the subtitle of the no title poems by Li Shangyin. Now let's look at the poem. 无题 Li Shangyin. 八岁偷照镜 长眉已能画 At the age of 8, I would like to look to the mirror secretly, and I can also brush, paint my long eyebrows. So 长眉 is an alternative name for a beautiful girl. So here it implies that this girl is a very beautiful girl, and he has the consciousness as a beautiful woman, a girl at very early age, at the age of 8. There's many ages mentioned in this poem, so the Chinese age is a little bit different from today in the Asian time. So when a kid was given birth, the kid was 1 year old. Let's suppose this kid was born in the December, and then very quickly the New Year's festival comes. So when he passed the New Year's festival in the Asian time, in Asian China, the kid was 2 years old. With today's accounting, or the real times this kid lived, possibly he could just 1 month old. In the Asian China, when the kid passed the New Year's Eve, the age increased by 1 year. In ancient China, we have very specific terms for some key ages through the lifetime, from the given birth till the man or the woman died to 100 years old, if they can live to such a long life. And in this poem, so at the age of 8, at the age of 10, so they all have very specific terms because this age is key ages in the lifetime. The age of 8 was called 总角, which means the kid. Their teeth grown up, matured, and they had to ramp up their hair above their head. So 角refers to the hair in a ramped up like a ball above the head. Normally, when the kids reach the age of 8, or 总角, he or she had to obey some of the basic rules of the family, of the society. Anyhow, they are still kids, behave like kids. And this girl in this poem is different. She already got the consciousness of a mature woman had. She appreciates her beauty by looking the mirrors secretly. So normally a kid won't look into the mirrors and won't do that secretly. And she also can brush and paint her beautiful long eyebrow, just like a mature woman did. 十岁去踏青，芙蓉作裙衩。10岁 is another term, is another key age for kid. It's so-called 幼学. 幼学 means at the age of 10, it's a time to start to learn something. For a boy, he can go out to the schools and learn some of the books, some other skills a boy should learn. For girls, of course, normally the girls learn something in their home, like the sewing work, like some other skills required by a Tang woman. In this poem, it describes the kid or this girl. She can go outside of her home to do some of the social activities. 踏青. 踏青 is the activities when the spring comes. The people went to the rivers, to the lakes, to the mountains, have a track, picnics, and a sort of the entertainment in the wild nature. So that's the habit for the Tang people, especially in the capital city, Chang'an. It's a very accurate date in the February 2nd and in the March 3rd. So in Chinese, 2月2 or 3月3. So at the age of 10, this girl can went out and trekking in that springtime. And she was different from others. Besides the beautiful clothing she wears, she put flowers on her clothes. So that's a mature woman's consciousness. 12学弹筝，银甲不曾卸. At the age of 12, the girl started to play zheng, a string musical instrument. 银甲不曾卸, the silver finger sleeves never take off. She never take off her silver finger sleeves, so which implies she's quite diligent and she works hard. She learns hard to play this musical instrument. To play the musical instrument and the silver finger sleeves both implies this girl was born in a well-off and upper-level family. Also, the age of 12 has a special term for girls only. 金叉之年 the age of golden hairpin, which means they should change their hairstyle into one big ball and use that golden hairpin to stick through the hairs to fix the hair above their head. And the golden hairpin implies almost adult. The almost adult is associated with the adult. 十四藏六亲，悬知犹未嫁。At the age of 14, the girl hid herself away from her family members. So that sounds weird. But basically, the 六亲 refers to the family members. But here, it means the girl hid her away from the male family members. She only stays with her female family members. So this means the girl has full consciousness of her adult status, and she also knows the rules in the Tang society that the woman cannot go out of the door for no reason, and she should hide away from the male, even the male is her family members. 悬知犹未嫁，悬知 a guess. So here we can see this poem was written about a girl, but it's somewhat from the angle of an observer's eyes. So I guess, so that's the observer, the poet, Li Shangyin himself. I guess she's still not married yet. So the fact that the poet Li Shangyin used to be very acquainted with this girl, and finally, at the age of 14, the girl at the age of 14, she didn't see her anymore. And also, the age of 14 or 13 has another name, 豆蔻年华. So 豆蔻 is a flower's name which blossom in the early summer, and so this implies the age is almost adult because the summer is the adult age, and it's pre-adult but very soon, and also it could refers as the best time for a girl. 豆蔻年华, that's the best time for a girl in her life. 十五泣春风，背面秋千下. So this pair sentence actually has converted the sequence. It should be 背面秋千下，十五泣春风. So standing under the swing and her back toward the swing, she cries upon the wind of spring. 秋千, the swing, is a very popular game in Tang Dynasty for the girls, especially in the springtime in the festival of February 2nd, March 3rd, 2月2, 3月3. The girl, one of the very popular games to play the swing. At the age of 15, she didn't play the swing anymore, but turned away from the swing, away from the happy crowds. Instead, he stand there crying upon the spring wind. So this was called 伤春, a very normal popular word in Chinese language, which means he feels sad for the feelings, for the loves, and for a girl especially for her marriage. So the age of 15 has its very special term, 及笄, a very important term, 及笄. 及笄 means, and used the hairpin to stick through the hair above his or her hair. And this hairpin is different from the previous one in 12 years old. So in the 12 years old, that's only for women, and it's very short hairpins. And at the age of 15, both boys and girls, they should put on the hairpin on their head. It's a very long hairpin, 20, 30 centimeters long, or maybe longer. So it goes through the hair, above the hair, to fix the hair above here. And this has its very important meaning is, for a girl, she was full ready for a marriage, and she should marry to a man. So with such background, it's quite easy to understand the last pair of sentences. She still went to the games, but which means she didn't marry yet, and also the crying implies she didn't marry yet. So let's go through this poem from the very beginning. So let's see how this girl looks like. So she has her own consciousness, female consciousness, at very, very, very early age, at the age of 8. And of course, she was a very beautiful woman. The 长眉, the long eyebrow, is an implication for that. And at the age of 10, the consciousness, the female consciousness, grows, and she's so smart to use the peony flowers to decorate him. And at the age of 12, she was so diligent to learn all the skills for a well-off, upper-level family woman or wife. She learned the musical instrument, not to say the sewing work, cookings, or other things for a typical ancient woman in Tang Dynasty. So she learned so hard. And at the age of 14, she know the rules perfectly, and she was with the most best consciousness of her female status. She even avoid to encounter or see her male family members, so which means she knows the rules of that time perfectly. And with all those endeavor and her beauties, at the age of 15, she still didn't get a good marriage yet. That's why she cries. So the biggest dream for a Tang woman is to get a good husband, a good marriage in time. So that's basically the poem is right about. Now let's have a second thought about this poem. For the women complaining poetry, we always should have a second thought. This poem was written per the angle of Li Shangyin himself, not on behalf of the angle of that girl. So the Li Shangyin, as an observer, he write down all the things he observed of that girl. So this very probably could be a narrative of one of his love affairs. And that girl was so sad she cannot got a marriage, or she doesn't can going on her love with someone, with Li Shangyin, of course. So that's also could be Li Shangyin feels such sadness toward this love affair between him and this girl. Another possibility could be Li Shangyin used this poem or used the style of this girl to express his sadness that he cannot fulfill his career dreams. Just think about that. The beauty is the born gift for the girls. So for a man, which is the gift of his talent, so he used that girl to express himself. He was a talented person, and he got the consciousness at very early age to pursue to his career path, to serve the central government, to serve the country. So he was with the talent. He was got the consciousness or the ambitions at a very early age, and he started hard of all the skills needed for his dreams. And finally, he got nothing, and he don't know what to do, because the marriage is the final destiny for a girl, and for the boy or for a man, the final destiny is to go through the imperial exam and get a position in the central government. So in this way, the girl's life experience was closely associated with the dreams or the life experiences with Li Shangyin himself. So that's how the women complaining poetry was about. And the funny things, when you compare this poem with the previous poem of Li Bai, 长干行, we can see some of the differences. So in the Li Bai's poem, 长干行 is writing about the lowest social levels, the girls from the lowest social level families, the merchant's family. So that girl's married at the age of 14 because she was born in a merchant family, and she has no other destinations. She only can marry to a merchant's family. So she married much earlier, before 15, because the 15 is the official or the very standard age for a girl to grow up, to get a marriage. And in that poem, there's no mention about the girl learning skills, especially learning the play the musical instrument. And in this poem, quite obviously, this girl was born in a scholar's family or in a peasant's family, a well-off farmer's family, and she goes through the full course to be prepared, to get ready to be a good wife. Okay, I think that's basically it's a quite simple poem, and but there's so many background behind. If we know the background, you could get more understanding of this poem. Bye bye for today.